Good evening, friends. You are most welcome to Think IS channel. Today we are discussing the Raj Sabha TV debates, and here the question is: what shape do you see this initiative taking? This is the continuation part of Raj Sabha TV debate previously we discussed. What shape do you see this initiative taking? In essence, it reflects the actualization and operationalization of the India Pacific. India's position on the Indo Pacific Ocean region, central position given to ASEAN to giving them a comfort that their role is not diluted in the region in any way, ensuring freedom of navigation, freedom of overflights, all disputes are resolved as per international conventions, UN Convention, United Nations Conventions for the laws of seas, UN clause UNCLOS. Have a free, open, inclusive, and prosperous concept. Inclusive in the sense that China can also be a member, thus not making this an aggressive or exclusive concept. Safety and security of the region is of paramount importance. Sustainably utilizing the maritime resources of the region, have partnerships with countries that are interested in having joint projects, natural resources utilization, disaster management, security, etc. There is going to be a conference in Chennai on maritime security in Indo-Pacific in 2020. All members of the East Asian states will be invited to it. ASEAN's construct of Indo-Pacific agrees to the centrality of ASEAN and use of already existing instruments like East Asia Summit EAS to take forward the concept of maritime security in the Indo-Pacific. It is for India to take take a leadership role in the region, and this initiative is a move away from only talking and doing something on ground. Next question is, what about China question in the Indo-Pacific? Indo-Pacific Initiative versus India-Pacific is a significant progress, moving further from a geographical construct to an action-based initiative in the region. This creates hope that we will come up with measures in which we can implement a certain model of security in the region. There are different versions that the different countries espouse, espouse, but essentially there are three models that can be applied on the ground. First is India, inclusive stakeholdership model. Second is America, confrontational confrontational model, in which it brings into question the predatory economic practices of China in the region in the way it is implementing its Belt and Road Initiative BRI. Third is ASEAN consociational consociational model, which involves sharing power and responsibilities in the commons with all states including China. Indo-Pacific Initiative. It is not about China. ASEAN is against any form of rules-based model. Any form of rules-based model which implicates China of any unfair practice. Though ASEAN is at the receiving end of China's excesses in the South China Sea, it still doesn't exclude China from its Indo-Pacific construct. ASEAN's skepticism. ASEAN's skepticism. ASEAN is supporting the Indo-Pacific idea not because it is totally for it, but only to manage its own internal differences in the Indo-Pacific. Otherwise, it was totally fine with the idea of Asia-Pacific, as Indo-Pacific actually mischaracterizes its collective identity. So we should not be so hopeful that ASEAN as a bunch will bandwagon with us in this initiative. India's rejection of RCEP. ASEAN may take this initiative as India's balancing position against the obstacles it faced in joining RCEP, Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership. India has in past also come out with ideas and visions, but it doesn't really have the resources to match its strategy with the deeds, and there is fear that this initiative can also meet the same end. Next question is, for long the US has been asking India to play a bigger role in the region, and that is why it was renamed as Indo-Pacific or Indo-Pacific by the US. Can we see this initiative as India being more assertive in the region? This is question. Developments in the US. In 2006-7, US wanted India's naval assets to be better utilized in the region. Obama's rebalancing towards Asia initiative. Indo-Pacific first appeared in Hillary Clinton's speech and was later formally adopted by the Trump administration. In 2018, the US Pacific Command changed its name to Indo-Pacific Command. Developments in India. India first wants to safeguard its own interest. It first need it first needs to have its own economic boom and buoyancy in order to sustain its activity in the Indo-Pacific region. The Western powers may have their own agenda of containing China in the region, but India is not looking for that kind of standoff. Why has Quad gained more momentum recently? Quad was launched in November 2017 on the sidelines of EAS in Manila, Philippines. Initially, Quad functioned only at a junior secretary level, but after China's unfriendly response to India's revocation of Article 370 and partial abrogation of Article 35A, India's upgraded Quad to ministerial level on the sidelines of UN General Assembly. None of the Quad countries have come out with a joint unified statement against China, since each of them has very strong linkages with China, each of a different nature. US $400 billion worth trade deficit with China. Australia coal export from Australia to China. Japan commercial relationship with China. India trade and the 4,000-kilometer long unsettled border. These are the concerns of the countries which are included in the Quad group: India, Australia, Japan, and USA. ASEAN must not be considered a single bloc but as different countries, since each of them have their own distinct linkages with China, which is why we cannot expect the whole of ASEAN to come together as a bloc to support the Indo-Pacific initiative. The Quadrilateral Security Dialogue QSD, also known as the Quad, is an informal strategic dialogue between the United States, Japan, Australia, and India that is maintained by talks between member countries. The dialogue was initiated in 2007 by Prime Minister Shinzo Abe of Japan. The dialogue was paralleled by joint military exercise of an unprecedented scale titled Exercise Malabar. The diplomatic and military arrangement was widely viewed as a response to increased Chinese economic and military power, and the Chinese government responded to the quadrilateral dialogue by issuing formal diplomatic protest to its members. Focus of meeting which Focus of meeting with many other countries has been Indo-Pacific. What kind of concrete support can we expect from these countries? Most countries support the idea of Indo-Pacific. They have not hesitated they have not hesitated to accept it as a model of both economic and maritime security in the region. India maintains that Indo-Pacific and Quad are two completely different concepts and should not be conflated conflated. CONFLATED, conflated. Quad is more of a consultative forum, while Indo-Pacific is more of a platform to bring different parties together. While ASEAN fears that too much importance on Quad will dilute their importance in the Indo-Pacific region, but fact of the matter is that the four Quad countries are the real players in the Indo-Pacific region, and unless they take a hard stand related to the economic and maritime security, there is little that can be achieved as far as maintaining a favorable balance of power in the region is concerned. The region is concerned. Quad is more of a balancing arrangement for maintaining balance of power and anxieties in the region. It is no it is no coinciding. Here we are discussing that there is no coincidence that there is no joint statement of Quad. There is a clear Indian hesitation to move ahead on many of the proposals that the Quad is putting forward. There is no mention of a rule based order, as usage of this word means a direct indication of an aggressive stance towards China. Each of the four countries are hedging their way around China. What we really need to do with regards to Quad or the Indo-Pacific concrete have concrete measurable areas or terms in which we can actually assess what developments have happened and what has been our contribution to maritime security. There is an action deficit, and proposals with no follow ups will not BEGET any result on grounds. And on last conclusion, depending on what we are willing to implement on ground, will assess our seriousness with regard to tactical security, China, and strategic security. China has recently talked of a code of conduct in the South China Sea in particular, and developments on this line is crucial for the region and is a way forward for India. India will not be able to play its due role in the Indo-Pacific unless it has a strong economy, and now that we have moved out of RCEP, it is all the more important that we make our domestic economy strong. There is need for internal reforms, capital, land, labor. If we want to make a contribution to the Indo-Pacific region, Quad and Indo-Pacific should present an alternative to the Belt Road Initiative in terms of alternate funding and financing on grounds. It is important that this alteration happens, as it will be important for ASEAN countries to find Indo-Pacific initiative a value concept worth supporting, and since connectivity is as important as security, there is need for resources to help achieve connectivity in the region. Finally, the principal fault line in the Indo-Pacific is between those countries that support the rule, US, Japan, and Australia, and those that support the order, China and some ASEAN countries. India needs to make its position clear on where it stands in this matter, and after that it can decide on what kind of initiative it wants to follow in the region. Now we are having one more question. Though ASEAN's stand with regard to India Pacific or Indo Pacific is similar to that of India ASEAN as a whole, cannot be relied upon for support of the India Pacific initiative. Explain it. Thank you very much.